This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Stepping out the door this morning, you're going to notice it's about 20 degrees cooler than it was at the same time yesterday. Coming up, I'll tell you how long this cold blast is going to last.
INDOT is proposing changes to a busy part of I-465. We're working for you with how that construction could impact your commute.
A grandmother worried and fed up with bullying in her grandson's school. This morning, how she's taking matters into her own hands.
Seeing through a barrier that can keep Hoosiers out of work. I'll show you how one company is helping employees with vision loss become successful on the job.
'Tis the season for holiday shopping and scamming. Working for you, we're looking at the ways you can easily spot a scam before you click checkout.
On this Tuesday, we are following breaking news right now from the city's far east side. That's where fire crews have been battling a fire that damaged 3 homes. These are live pictures you're seeing right now. And in the last few minutes, we've learned that this fire has turned deadly. Live pictures again from the 2600 block of Roth Lane. Crews actively working to put out some hot spots. And we've just learned that a 59-year-old woman was killed in this house fire. Multiple homes were damaged at the scene. As you can see from the scene, it looked like when firefighters first arrived shortly after 4:30 this morning. As you can see, very active. Fire officials say that the wind overnight helped spread those flames between those homes. We are working to learn new information, and we will keep you updated as it comes into the newsroom. But again, a fatal fire there on the city's far east side. A 59-year-old woman has been found dead inside one of those homes.
Back here, we do want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. It is 6 o'clock on this Tuesday, December 10th.
Yeah, and we are monitoring the weather out there. Firefighters do say that wind could have played a role in spreading that fire to those 3 houses. We also need to touch on the temps outside, Alyssa, because they are awfully different than what we've been experiencing these past few days.
That's right, Meredith. And those winds that are impacting those firefighters are also having an impact on us. So here's a look at what we're seeing when it comes to wind right now. We're seeing that wind out of the west about 22 miles per hour in Indianapolis, closer to 30 miles per hour to the north of us. We're also seeing those gusts close to 25 miles per hour. So what does that mean for us? Well, it means the wind chills are getting pulled down. So feels more like 10 degrees when you step outside because of that wind that we're seeing across central Indiana. Feels more like the single digits to the north of us. Actual temperatures are in the 20s right now, but it feels much colder than that. So it's 25 degrees in Indianapolis, but it feels like 10 degrees as you step outside because of those strong winds that we're seeing. Now, the good news is those winds are going to drop off a little bit throughout the day. Still going to be a breezy Tuesday, and those winds are going to shift a little bit out of the northwest. So it's going to help usher in that cooler air from the north that we're seeing today. Temperatures only climbing into the upper 20s.
All right, Alyssa, we are keeping a close eye on the roads as you head out this Tuesday. Here is a live look at your commute over on the east side. This is I-70 and Sherman Drive, where traffic is picking up, as you can see by all the headlights traveling up to speed. Let's plan out your drive right now. If you're heading in from the south side, take a look here, State Road 37. If you're hopping on there at Stones Crossing Road in Greenwood, taking you all the way up to the I-465 ramps. It's an 11-minute drive, so no delays there. Over here on I-65, heading northbound, starting at Southport Road up to I-70 at the North Split. It's a 10-minute drive into downtown. No delays here for your morning commute.
More changes could be on the way for I-465 on the south and southwest sides of Indianapolis, as INDOT wants to add extra lanes in several areas. But before any work begins, you can learn more and voice your opinion about the changes at a public forum tonight hosted by INDOT. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with more details on that. Kelsey, what do officials say they want to exactly do here?
Well, Meredith, what they want to do is add more lanes to 465. They say right now it's at capacity, so they want to add more lanes just to make traffic flow more smoothly and to make it safer for all drivers using 465. Now, there are 2 sections INDOT is wanting to work on, and it's one being here at 465, the US 31 interchange to the 465-65 interchange on the city's south side, and the other being from the 465-70 interchange to the 465 Man Road interchange. They They say sound barriers would be added near the new lanes. And if you would like to learn more about the project, you can attend tonight's public hearing. It'll be at Decatur Central High School in the cafeteria at 6 p.m. Now, this work won't begin until 2021 on one section and 2022 on the other. But NDOT officials say they are only taking opinions until January 10th, 2020. You can find out how to submit your opinion if you can't make it to the meeting tonight and learn more about their plans over on the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:05, and only on RTV6, the superintendent of the state's largest school system is renewing calls to cut ties with an out-of-state charter company running one of its schools. IPS is seeking the return of Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle School. The district lost its school back in 2013 because of poor academic performance at the time. IPS is asking the state charter board to drop Florida-based Charter Schools USA because they say it violated its agreement with the district. That includes providing IPS with academic and discipline records, significant staff turnover, and a drop in the number of students.
What I won't do is deny that there are teachers who are working very hard in all of those schools on behalf of their students every day. No question about that. It's really about letting a school district have the decision-making authority around who they partner with and what that relationship is within that district.
So in 3 days, the Indiana Charter Schools Board will vote on this issue. That's on Friday. It is not clear whether the board will hear it one more time from IPS or Charter Schools USA before making its decision. But this morning, Charter Schools USA is delivering a stinging response to IPS. They say in part that IPS is using false statements to discredit them, adding that they are staying the course to help some of Indianapolis's most vulnerable students find a way to break out of the cycle of poverty by providing them with an educational option that best serves them. We'll have more on their statement in our next half hour.
At 6:06, an investigation is underway this morning after an Indiana National Guard soldier died at a Southern Indiana training center. Corporal Larry Litton of Martinsville was training at the Muscatatuck Urban Training Center on Saturday. The 30-year-old was found unresponsive and was then taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Linton served as an assistant squad leader with the 384th Military Police Company. His commander says that Linton was an admired soldier who loved his family and fellow service members.
If you are one of the thousands of people out of a job because of the Celadon bankruptcy filing, RTV6 is working for you. The Anderson-based trucking company is shutting down. Earlier this year, Celadon agreed to pay more than $42 million in restitution to settle fraud charges. Last week, 2 former senior officials were charged in an accounting fraud scheme. Drivers with another trucking company, Carter Logistics, have been told to give stranded Celadon drivers a ride home if they can. The company is also offering free bus tickets to drivers and jobs to any former Celadon employees who would like to stay in the industry. We asked the CEO of Carter why he's going the extra mile for another company's workers.
It's selfish a little bit for me because I can use the employees, but it just is, it's Christmas. It's the right thing to do.
Mayor Joe Hogsett in the city of Indianapolis says Celadon employees being let go should immediately file for unemployment insurance benefits with the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. All employees can visit Central Indiana Work One locations for career services assistance and let them know you are from Celadon. You can also find positions in the shipping and logistics industry by going to hiringhoosiers.com.
It is 6:08 and RTV6 is working to get answers for a concerned grandmother who lives in Pike Township.
Yeah, she says her grandson is dealing with an issue that many students are facing currently. See, Dina Hinton Campbell says that her 6-year-old grandson is being severely bullied. She's frustrated with the way the situation is being handled, saying she's talked to the school several times about the abuse, and she's often not informed when it happens.
He gets beat up in the morning and no one calls and tells me, and it's not until I'm walking into the school that you see me and you're shocked and you're like, oh, by the way.
She says the school's principal has agreed to put her grandson and the other students in separate classrooms. She thinks more steps need to be taken, like counseling for the other child. Pike Township Schools tells RTV6 it will not comment on specific students, but officials say they take all reports of bullying seriously. They investigate and work with families to take necessary actions. A Call 6 investigation on bullying led to a state law that requires the Indiana Department of Education to to remind schools that they're required to report bullying. The 2017 Call 6 report found that 60% of schools reported 0 bullying incidents over a school year.
RTV6 is getting answers for people wondering what happened to several trees along the Monon Trail. Indy Parks says trees were cut down on the west side of the trail in preparation for the Monon widening project. The department says the removal or pruning of poor or dead tree material was a necessary safety precaution and that many of the dead trees were due to the emerald ash borer. 10 miles of the Monon from 96th Street through downtown Indianapolis will be repaved and the trail will be widened by 4 feet.
A local woman is sharing her story about taking on type 2 diabetes and actually reversing the disease. Amy Megan is no longer considered a diabetic. Because of her family history, she just assumed that she would be diabetic. But after not taking the disease seriously, her weight went way up and her doctor told her that she would soon need to go on insulin. Well, that's when Amy started making small lifestyle changes to improve her health, like cutting out sugar, eating healthy foods, and working out more and putting more physical activity into her daily routine.
If you had told me that I could actually take myself from being diabetic to being qualified as a non-diabetic, I would never have believed you, or I would have thought that medication was the reason.
Amy's doctor says taking this disease seriously early on is important. We have more links to different diabetes resources right here in central Indiana. It's in this story on the RTV6 app.
Vision loss is typically a barrier that will keep Hoosiers out of work. Coming up at 6:14, I check in with one company helping blind employees become successful on the job. Alyssa.
And yesterday we were in the 50s to start. Today we have dropped about 20 degrees, starting in the 20s across the area. Feels even colder than that, though, because of this wind chill. How long will this cold blast stick around? I'll have the details coming up.
And start saving today.
It is 6:14, and for the past year, Hiring Hoosiers has been connecting you to jobs, resources, and training.
So I want to share a staggering number with you. In Indiana, the unemployment rate for people who are blind or visually impaired is 63%.
Yeah, just incredible. But at Bosma Enterprises, more than 50% of its workforce is blind or visually impaired. This morning, I'm checking back in on the facility where people experiencing vision loss are successfully navigating jobs.
This is where we repackage gloves. We get them, they come behind us in shippers, they load up our lines here, then we repackage them.
Meet Scott Mullendorf. He's grateful for his job for a number of reasons. The first being the fact he has one at all.
Phone interviews would go great. Walking in, that was a problem. As soon as you head through the door with the cane, they're like, we're sorry, but we don't need you. So, yes, that's happened quite a few times.
You wouldn't know it by just looking at him, but Scott is visually impaired, and so are all of his coworkers.
Bosma, our mission is to provide employment for people who are blind or visually impaired.
Bosma COO Jeffrey Mittman says one of the greatest misconceptions about the blind and visually impaired is they don't have the skills for employment.
It's a small adjustment most of the time. You know, sometimes it may be adaptive software on a computer, or maybe it's a tool that is a guide or something that you use in the workstation that allows them to do the job. So
in 2018, Bosma helped approximately 800 Hoosiers adjust to vision loss, much of which was workforce training.
It was we do a lot of work for federal, state, local government and for commercial partners, and we do a lot of packaging, a lot of kitting opportunities, a lot of warehouse and distribution. And we use blind individuals there to do that.
They placed people in 30 different companies around Indianapolis just last year.
Once we get one in there, they'll come back and ask for a second, third, fourth individual because they see the benefit of having those people.
Bosma has the talent. They're just hoping others will recognize it too.
We're willing to work. We can work. We know how to work. We just need the opportunity to work.
Mittman says one major barrier for Bosma employees and others who are blind or visually impaired is transportation, and they work hard to coordinate rides for anyone who may need one. Bosma currently has a number of job openings, and they offer competitive wages, insurance, paid holidays, and retirement benefits. For more information, you can head to hiringhoosiers.com. And one place that is always booming with job opportunities, the RTV6 Hiring Hoosiers Facebook page. If you are looking for a job with good pay and the chance to advance, there are dozens of opportunities posted directly from recruiters on our homepage. Just search Hiring Hoosiers on Facebook and you'll find a place to make real connections for your career.
The time now is 6:17. We normally say good morning, Indiana, right? Would you agree with me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But right now, it is colder here than Alaska. The Alaska temperature is 33 degrees. It's warmer there. We're colder.
You looked
Let's go on
Alyssa,
vacation.
That shouldn't happen.
You looked that up just to say that to me, didn't you?
Well, because I thought it feels colder. It should not be. I mean, come on.
I know, it is cold today. We have that
What
Arctic
happened?
cold air moving into central Indiana right now, and that's going to impact us today and tomorrow. It's sticking around. We are going to see a very slow temperature climb as we head through the week, and then just in time for the weekend, we have the potential of some wintry weather coming our way. But here's a look at those cold temperatures. You can see that cold air has really settled over the Midwest. 3 below zero right now in Minneapolis, 19 degrees in Chicago, 25 degrees in Indianapolis. So we're kind of one of the warmer spots right now in the Midwest. It's 22 in Kokomo, Bloomington at 25. We are seeing some light flurries over Kokomo right now, but the main thing I want you to see on this is these winds. We have those winds out of the west, almost 30 miles per hour for areas to the north of us, close to 25 miles per hour in Indianapolis right now, and those winds are causing that wind chill to feel very chilly this morning. So feels like the single digits for areas to the north of us. 5 degrees in Peru right now, 6 degrees in Lafayette. Feels like 10 degrees this morning in Indianapolis. So you definitely need that warmer jacket, hat, gloves, and scarves because it is chilly to start today. So what's going on is we had that cold front that moved through yesterday that brought us all of that rainfall. We picked up just over ½ an inch in Indianapolis at the airport. And what's going on next is we have high pressure building in. That's going to be in control over the next couple days here. What that's going to do is clear out some of our cloud coverage. So we saw some partly clear skies overnight, which allowed us to cool down so much over the past 24 hours. And then next, we're going to see a little bit of clearing throughout the day. We're going to see partly cloudy skies, so just some peaks of sunshine here and there. We could see some lake effect snow for areas to the north, extreme northern counties in Indiana, but for the most part, we are all going to be dry over the next several days with just a little bit of cloud coverage. A lot of that is going to clear out by tomorrow. We'll see a little bit more sunshine, but as it clears overnight, it's also going to help take those temperatures down even more by tomorrow morning. So we're going to start tomorrow even colder, but because we'll see some sunshine, we'll be allowed to warm just a little bit more throughout the day. So today, 28 degrees for our high. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer, and then we are back to average by Thursday. By Friday night, we do have a system that's coming in that will bring us the potential of a rain-snow mix Friday and into Saturday. Today, though, it is going to be dry and cold to start. Those winds are out of the west right now, about 20 miles per hour. Those gusts close to 25 miles per hour. So you're going to feel very chilly as you step outside today. Temperatures only climbing a few degrees throughout the day into the upper 20s, so well below average for this time of year. And we are going to continue to climb through the week back to average into the low 40s. That's where we should be this time of year. And then by the weekend, we do have that potential of a rain-snow mix.
All right, Alyssa, thanks so much. Here is a live look right now at your drive, what you can expect as you head out on this Tuesday here on the southeast side. This is I-465, a view near Arlington Avenue. Traffic is moving along smoothly eastbound and westbound. No crashes or issues around the metro area. And take a look at our map. Everything is traveling up to speed. Let's plan out your drive heading into the downtown area from the east side. Starting off here at Post Road, heading to I-65 at the north split. It's a quick 10-minute commute right now along westbound I-70. Again, no problems right now if you're heading out the door.
So the state of California is demanding the nation's largest pharmacy chain pay a hefty fine for not taking recycling seriously. You see, Cal Recycle announced a record $3.6 million fine against CVS. The government agency says 10% of the stores in California, they refuse to redeem recyclable cans and bottles or pay a $1,000 daily fine as an option. CVS says it's committed to sustainability liability and is reviewing that accusation.
A lab in Massachusetts is now paying for a scheme it set up with doctors in Texas. Boston Heart Diagnostics allegedly paid Texas doctors and waived patient co-pays in exchange for lab tests it then billed to federal health care programs. The Justice Department announced a nearly $27 million settlement to resolve the accusations yesterday. This also settles a claim that Boston Heart conspired with hospitals to submit outpatient claims for people who were not hospital outpatients.
The holiday season is also, porch pirate season. We don't like them. Still ahead, how you can keep your packages safe so you don't waste your money.
Welcome back. It is 6:24, and it is time to chat about what is trending at 6. So you guys know that my husband and I are big collectors of whiskey, right? So what is believed? This is the big story.
I thought it was Christmas trees, but now it's whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's believed to be the world's largest private Scotch whiskey collection will soon be sold at auction.
Oh, here goes Lauren's entire paycheck.
Yeah, there goes all my money. It could be worth as much as $10.5 million. They believe, or they say, it belongs to the late Richard Gooding, an American collector from Colorado. The collection is made up of nearly 4,000 bottles.
You collect whiskey? I didn't know that. My goodness.
There you go.
The things you learn.
You learn something new every day.
Okay, so each city council has their own way to decide a tiebreaker. Sometimes it's the mayor. But in Fairfield, Washington, they turned to a milk bottle when a race tied this year. You see, state law mandates that ties must be settled by a game of chance, but it doesn't say what kind of game. So they assigned each candidate to a ball and dropped them into a bottle. The first ball to come out of the bottle was the winner. What? Okay. Okay.
All right, you are so shocked by Lauren's fun fact there. How about this one? Do you know I've never seen any Star Wars movies, and I don't plan on doing it either? So this is good news for any Indianapolis Star Wars fans, because they can hunt down exclusive memorabilia across the city, and they won't have to fight me for it. The IMAX Theater at the Indiana State Museum is once again holding its Star Wars coffee mug scavenger hunt. Over the next 9 days, fans can find Star Wars-inspired mugs hidden around the Circle City. Each mug contains 2 tickets to see the new movie at the State Museum IMAX. You can find clues to find each day's mug at the IMAX Indy Instagram account.
The things you learn on the couch.
Yeah.
A whiskey bottle collector, no Star Wars.
What fun fact does Alyssa Donovan have for us?
Well, I like whiskey and I've watched Star Wars, so I couldn't think of one. You shared that I did pageants earlier.
Okay, there you go.
So fun. You know what's fun today? The weather.
Is it though?
Well, it's fun to talk about because it's just a big
we're
change.
Indoors right now?
Yeah, it's fun for us inside. It's not going to be fun for you outside. Right now, it's 25 degrees. Keep in mind, yesterday at this time, it was 50 degrees, so a huge change from what we saw yesterday. Those temperatures only going to climb a few degrees throughout our Tuesday. This is our cold blast that we've been talking about this week. Our high today, right around 28 degrees. It feels more like the teens this morning to start. We're staying cold on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. Then we're back to average by Thursday.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. So once you've ordered a gift, the wait is on for that gift to be delivered.
But porch pirates are also waiting for them to be dropped off at your front door.
And so this morning, our John Matarese is working for you with tips on how to prevent those porch package poachers.
The holiday season, unfortunately, has become porch pirate season, with thousands of brazen thieves grabbing packages left sitting on doorsteps. We've all seen the video doorbell footage of thieves grabbing packages and running, jumping out of moving cars, even being so bold as to not hide their face from the camera. And with billions of dollars of Cyber Monday merchandise now on its way to homes, the Better Business Bureau has issued an alert to help prevent this holiday epidemic. With Amazon, you can sign up for Amazon Key, where they'll place the package in your garage, house, or car trunk. Also, you can track your package to know exactly when it's arriving, have the package delivered to a neighbor, relative, or your workplace, or use ship to store or ship to Amazon Locker, then pick it up. Finally, use a credit card so you can dispute a lost package. Finally, don't rely on a Ring doorbell camera to prevent theft. Thieves don't seem to care if they're on camera. So prevent theft before it happens so you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
For more cost-saving tips and ideas, you can visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com.
It is Tuesday, December the 10th, and here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A woman is dead after flames broke out at homes on the city's east side. A 59-year-old woman was found dead inside a home in the 2600 block of Roth Lane. That's on the city's far east side. Fire crews say that the wind overnight spread the flames to 3 homes. We'll have more information on this breaking, developing story in just a few moments.
The search for 2 men continues in connection to gunfire that killed a 15-year-old Kokomo boy. Police say 22-year-old Kylie Fisher and her brother went to Lincolnwood Apartments to sell marijuana. Officers believe 2 men got into Fisher's car and someone fired shots after a fight. This morning, she faces several charges.
An investigation is underway after an Indiana National Guard soldier died while training in southern Indiana. Corporal Larry Linton of Martinsville was training at the Muscatatuck Urban Training Center. The 30-year-old was found unresponsive and taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Linton served as an assistant squad leader with the 384th Military Police Company.
In Hamilton County, Carmel police now say they've identified the vandals who caused damage at the Chris Kindle Markets. Surveillance pictures show the suspects vandalizing one of the stores Sunday morning. Carmel police say the investigation into that incident continues this morning.
And this morning, Colts kicker Adam Vinatieri is sitting on the injured reserve list. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that Vinatieri will undergo season-ending knee surgery. He missed Sunday's game against Tampa Bay with the injury as well. Chase McLaughlin kicked in his place.
It is 6:30 here on your Tuesday morning. We want to thank you so much for joining us on this December the 10th. Alyssa Donovan here with us right now, and it's finally starting to feel like December outside.
Yes. Yeah. So we were spoiled yesterday morning.
Yes.
We had the rain, but with those temperatures, at least we were spoiled. I want to mention that the temperatures we're experiencing this morning, those are average for this time of year.
Ooh,
so that's where we should be. We've been spoiled with the warm air that we've had the past couple days. But it has been a huge temperature change over the past 24 hours. 24-degree temperature change in Indianapolis from this time yesterday morning to this morning. We started yesterday in the 50s. Today we are starting in the 20s across the area. Feels even colder than that because of those wind chills. 25 degrees right now in Indianapolis. It's 21 in Peru and 21 in Lafayette. And then those wind chills, we have these winds coming out of the northwest right now, up to 20 miles per hour. Those gusts close to 25 miles per hour, making it feel more like 10 degrees right now in Indianapolis. So this is a morning that you need to bundle up. That warm jacket, hat, gloves, and scarves. You need the works today because it's going to be a chilly day. We're not going to change that much when it comes to temperatures throughout your Tuesday. We're only going to climb a few degrees into the upper 20s. The good news is we are going to see those winds die down a little bit. Still going to be a breezy day, but the strongest winds we are experiencing right now. As we head through the week, we're warming just a little bit closer to average, and then we do have some wintry weather just in time for the weekend. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, let's take a look right now at your commute at I-70 and West Street. If you're heading towards the downtown area, no problems here. You can see the camera swinging around a little bit and bouncing in the wind out there we were dealing with this morning, but traffic is moving along just fine. No issues here to slow you down. I do want to show you, though, that traffic, it's picking up here, as you can see, on I-465 on the southwest side this morning. And if you travel in this area as a regular, you know this area can get backed up. That's why NDOT wants to add travel lanes to several areas, including this one. But before any work begins, you can voice your opinion on those changes at a public forum. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with more details on that. Kelsey, we hear I-465, more construction. What can you tell us?
Well, what we know right now is that NDOT officials want to add more lanes to I-465 just to make it safer and for traffic to move more easily for drivers. So this area right here at the 465 and 31 interchange, that is one of the places that they're worried about. This will go from this interchange to the 465-65 interchange on the city's south side, and the other being from the 465-70 interchange to the 465 Man Road interchange. They say sound barriers would be added near the new lanes. And if you would like to learn more about the project, you can attend tonight's public hearing. It'll be at 6 o'clock at Decatur Central High School in the cafeteria. Now, this work won't begin until 2021 on one section and 2022 on the other, but NDOT says They're only taking people's opinions tonight through January 10th of 2020. So to learn more on how you can give your input and to learn more just about the project that they have planned, you can head over to the RTV6 News app. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. We want to head back to that breaking news we've been following all morning long from the city's far east side. That's where crews are wrapping up at the scene of a house fire. Now, this fire damaged 3 homes, and in just the last half hour, we have learned that this fire turned deadly. These are live pictures from the 2600 block of Roth Lane. This, once again, is on the far east side. Crews, they're working for hours to put out that fire and put out hot spots. Officials tell us they did find the body of a 59-year-old woman inside one of the homes. IFD says that victim's husband had spoken to her just moments before getting a phone call about the fire. Fire officials do not know why that woman could not get out. This is once again a live look at the scene. This is a look at the scene prior to that fire being put out when firefighters first arrived shortly after 4:30. Fire officials say the wind overnight helped spread the flames between those 3 houses. We are going to work to continue to bring you new information on the RTV6 app as soon as we learn it. But once again, unfortunately, a 59-year-old woman, a victim in that house fire. Here at 6:34, only on RTV6, the superintendent of the state's largest school system is renewing calls to cut ties with an out-of-state charter company running one of its schools.
And this issue will come to a head on Friday with a key vote. IPS is seeking the return of Emma Donnan Elementary and Middle School. The district lost that school back in 2013 because of poor academic performance at the time. IPS is asking the state charter board to drop Florida-based Charter Schools USA because it says it violated its agreement with the district. That includes providing IPS with academic and discipline records, significant staff turnovers, and a drop in the number of students.
We want to operate that school. We believe there's a partner who we can choose to operate the school, who could just simply give us better outcomes than what we've seen this past year.
The Indiana Charter Schools Board, Meredith, will vote on this issue on Friday. We'll be there to see what happens.
But what happens if IPS loses?
Well, IPS has already cut ties with the charter, so they will stop transportation to those students in the fall of 2020. The big question will be who will own the building if IPS loses to the board. IPS is obviously, they own the building, so the big issue is who will keep that structure. We'll see what happens at that point. Now, this morning, Charter Schools USA is critical of IPS, saying it's focused on adult issues and politics. It goes on to say the only IPS students who outperformed the turnaround school students under Charter Schools USA and the NEI management were privileged white students. This is unacceptable and truly needs to be addressed.
The time now is 6:36, and we're working for you this morning after a concerned driver reached out to us saying this newly opened bridge now poses a risk to drivers. The Dandy Trail Bridge here on the west side opened last week after an 8-month closure. But one driver says this new design has a major flaw. Bruce Wood here travels on this stretch of Dandy Trail every day. He says a guardrail intended to protect drivers actually poses a threat, especially when the road is icy.
They've made it a lot worse with the way they've constructed the end of this bridge with this railing. It's stuck out right next to the roadway. And the roadway used to be straight through here. There wasn't the zigzag that you now have to make to miss this railing.
Well, we took Bruce's concerns to the city. In a statement, a DPW spokesperson says this may be a case of the drivers just needing to relearn the new alignment. The city says reconstruction of the Dandy Trail Bridge complies with all NDOT and federal design standards.
Working for you, a burglary victim is getting her insurance payout after sharing her story with RTV6. We'll told you about Jacqueline Carr's situation on Friday. Someone broke into her storage unit at Secure Care Self-Storage in October, taking almost everything she owned. But because the thieves didn't leave behind the lock, the storage company's insurance division would not pay out Carr's $2,000 policy. That changed on Monday after a representative from the storage unit called Jacqueline.
He said that he heard about the news and that he was sorry that that happened to me, but he wanted to try to make it right, and that he was going to go to the storage facility himself, look at the cameras, and check everything. You guys made it known what is the right thing to do. And that's really what I wanted the most, is just, let's do the right thing here, people. And you guys made it happen. Thank you.
The storage unit representative tells Jacqueline that after looking at the security camera footage, he encouraged the insurance company to reopen the claim.
A Central Indiana school district changing the way it handles school board meeting agendas. Ahead this morning, the reason an open-door complaint is motivating that move. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on RTV6.
WEducation.com.
The time now is 6:41, and new this morning, a Southwest Indiana school district finds itself at the center of a federal lawsuit. Grandparents and a parent of a 7-year-old filed the suit against North Gibson School Corporation. The lawsuit says the child has disabilities and was often put in a 3-foot by 5-foot seclusion room and left to soil her clothes. The suit claims the school district violated the students' rights and blatantly disregarded Indiana laws and their own policies. The child's guardians are asking for undisclosed damages this morning.
The Northwest Hendricks School District Corporation is making some changes following a formal open door law complaint. So the open door law governs meetings in public agencies, and it protects citizens' rights to access those meetings. Well, residents contact Call 6 Investigates back in October saying that Northwest Hendricks School Board meetings were not posted online, and the board has shown a sharp spike in executive sessions. Residents say because the sheriff's office is investigating an inappropriate relation between a Tri-West teacher and a student, lots of people were turning to the school board's website for more information. That school corporation says that they are correcting the actions and working to better communicate with that community. You can read more about the open door law and the issues at hand at this district by clicking on this story in the RTV6 app.
A Hancock County farmer is bringing new life and fresh food to the east side of Indianapolis. Jonathan Lawler is the owner of Healthy Harvest Market at Brookside near 10th and Rural. The store is a dream come true for Lawler, who also operates Brandywine Creek Farms. He wanted to open a grocery store selling produce he grows at an affordable price in a neighborhood without easy access to food.
As soon as we opened our doors, we had hundreds of people tell us thank you. We had people that came in here and said that they had never shopped at the grocery store here before, but they will now be shoppers here because they can afford the stuff that's in here.
Lawler wants to hire people who live in the neighborhood to work at his grocery store. If you would like information, email us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
You have just 14 shopping days until Christmas. New this morning, we're helping you to shop for unique gifts while also keeping an eye out for potential payment scams. Alyssa.
And yesterday at this time, we were right around 50 degrees. Right now, we're at 25 degrees. Coming up, I'm going to tell you how long this cold streak is going to last. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Your weekend deserves Nutella.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We are working to keep you from getting scammed this holiday season.
Yeah, so important. So while shopping online, you'll want to be careful how you pay. Only on RTV6, the unusual payment methods sellers may demand from you, so they keep your money and you get nothing.
You may be tempted to use your debit card to avoid going into debt, but if you're buying something online, we're about to make a really strong case for why you want to pay only with a credit card. Say you find that one-of-a-kind gift, but the seller is specific about how you pay.
Avoid anybody who defines how you can pay them.
Accounting professor J.P. Crail says if you're unsure of the seller, credit cards offer you the best protection from fraud.
So people who get scammed, via credit card, they've got recourse. They can go to the credit card company and say, hey, listen, this wasn't me or I was scammed. They may be able to find relief.
Unlike debit or cash apps, there's a third party between your money and the person you're giving it to. And while peer-to-peer payment services such as PayPal, Venmo, or Bank of America's mobile app Zelle seem reputable and safe, that's not always the case.
Zelle is a digital wallet. It's an ability for you to reach in and just give cash out. There's very little protection there.
Scams are a little more obvious when the person asks for payment via iTunes gift cards or something else.
Are they demanding that I make a payment in a certain way because they know that they get all the protection and I get none of it?
But also be very suspicious of wire requests and Bitcoin.
Forms like Bitcoin is the least protected form of payment. Once I send that out, I will never find it again. Like there's no protection there.
Only use use apps like Venmo, Zelle, Facebook, and Google Pay with people you know. Venmo says that in its terms, it's not to be used for payment of goods or services unless it's with an authorized merchant.
Well, working for you the next 12 days on Good Morning Indiana, we'll bring you a different scam crooks like to use this time of year to help you avoid falling victim. You can also find all of these scams detailed each day on our website, theindychannel.com.
And on the 10th day of December, our true love, Alyssa Donovan, brought really cold temperatures to us.
I know. Hopefully Todd will come back tomorrow and bring us a little bit more warm air. Actually, he will, because we're going to warm up a little bit as we head over the next couple days. But today, it is a cold one. We have this cold Arctic air that is coming in from the north, and you can see that's really settled over the Midwest right now, taking our temperatures into the 20s in Indianapolis. We're 3 below zero in Minneapolis, 19 degrees in Chicago, 20 degrees in Kansas City. So across the Midwest, we are experiencing these very chilly conditions. Here in Indy, we're at about 25 degrees, so we're actually one of the warmer spots in the Midwest right now. 21 right now in Peru, 24 in Greenfield. Now, I want to show you, though, what you're really going to notice when you step outside is not only how chilly it is, but that we do have some gusty winds. We're seeing those winds out of the west about 22 miles per hour right now in Indianapolis, a little stronger to the north. Those are sustained winds. We're also seeing wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So what does that mean for you? Not only is it going to be a windy start to the day, but you're going to feel like it's even colder than the 20s to start out, feeling more like about 11 degrees right now in Indianapolis and into the single digits for areas to the north. So you definitely need to bundle up this morning, especially because yesterday we were so much warmer than that. That's just going to make it feel that much colder when you step outside today. Those very chilly temperatures are sticking with us tomorrow as well. So here's what's going on. We had that cold front that moved through yesterday. That brought us all that rain. That's starting to move up to the northeast, bringing some winter storm warnings there. And we are continuing to see some drier and calmer weather here. So we are going to see some cloud coverage to start today, but then we are seeing that high pressure build in, and what that's going to do is clear out some of that cloud coverage this afternoon. So we'll see some peaks of sunshine later today, and then we'll really see those clouds clear out overnight, which means we're just going to cool down that much more by tomorrow morning. The good news is mostly sunny skies tomorrow means we'll warm up just a little bit more throughout the day. It's still going to be very cold tomorrow, though. Today, we are seeing those temperatures just about 28 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll climb just a few degrees more, and then by Thursday, we are back close to average with those temperatures staying that way on Friday and most of Saturday. By Friday night, we do have a system that's going to come in that will bring us the potential of a rain-snow mix into the weekend. Today, starting very chilly this morning, temperatures in the 20s, feels more like the single digits and the teens because of those gusty winds. Those gusty winds will likely stick with us until about midday. Then we'll start to see them die down a little bit. Some calmer conditions this afternoon, partly cloudy skies this afternoon, highs only into the upper 20s. So very chilly day for your Tuesday, well below average. We are back to average by Thursday and Friday, and then Friday night, that's when we see that chance of a rain-snow mix coming in that will likely impact us on Saturday as well.
All right, Alyssa, you mentioned the gusty winds out there, and hopefully this doesn't make you a little seasick. I-70 west of Cumberland Road. You can see the camera there swinging around just a bit in the winds this morning. Traffic is also picking up in this area. This is the closest camera we have to that far east side house fire. 3 homes in that area on fire on Roth Lane that they've been working to put out all morning long. So if this is part of your commute and you normally take local streets, you may want to hop on the interstate just to avoid any delays. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on any issues.
The time now is 6:52. There's some new rules in the NHL when it comes to abusive behavior. Teams are now required to report any misconduct immediately or face consequences from the league. Now, this comes after a racial abuse incident that led to the resignation of the Calgary Flames coach, that happening last month. The NHL also plans to create a platform to report issues anonymously.
People who grew up playing sports may have better hearing. A new study looks at the brain's electrical response to sound. Scientists say athletes' brains produce less static in a room full of noise, meaning they have the ability to hear better. The study says people exposed to a lot of musical stimulation and linguistics also had less static in their brain. I still can't explain, though, if your husband played football in high school, why he won't listen to you.
That's pretty good. Okay, so who let the cat out of the bag? After the break, the ramen rescue caught on camera. We'll be right back.
life. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Welcome back. It is 6:55, and we want to keep you updated on this breaking news we've been following all morning long on the far east side. House fires here along Roth Lane spreading to 3 homes due to some gusty winds. We can tell you a 59-year-old woman was found dead inside of one of these homes. Tragic situation out there. This is near 30th and Cumberland to give you an idea of where that neighborhood is located. Right now, crews are still working on those hot spots, and they're investigating what caused this deadly fire. Of course, we'll keep you updated throughout the day on the RTV6 app.
So on a much lighter note, to protect and serve humans and animals, you need to check out this video of a police sergeant who came up on a freaked out feline. You see, the sheriff's office in Cabazon, California posted the video and asked for a caption idea, and someone nailed it. Their idea? Who let the cat out of the bag? The sergeant noticed that its head was stuck in a ramen noodle bag. On top of that, the cat was being chased and harassed by a dog. The cat took off after the sergeant removed the bag.
Oh, man.
Wow. A lot going on there.
Gone wrong. A lot going on there. Okay.
I guess no one told that cat you need water in a microwave to, you know, really get the good part of ramen going. Yeah.
All right, we do want to talk to Alyssa right now because as you head outside today for work or school, big changes from what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, so yesterday we started in the 50s. You likely didn't even grab a jacket yesterday, probably just an umbrella. Today, grab that warm jacket because we are starting in the 20s, but it feels more like the teens because of those wind chills. It is breezy outside today as well. We have those wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour this morning. Those will die down throughout the day. Our highs only into the upper 20s. This cold air sticks with us for much of the week, back close to average by Thursday. And then we have a wintry mix for the weekend.
Thanks, Alyssa, and thanks for joining us.